to learn the guitar in 2024. What's up, guys? I'm Steve Jewell. Thank you for tuning in. So you want to learn the guitar, right? It's a new year, New Year's resolutions. You got the guitar on your mind. Let's dive into it. So how to learn the guitar in 2024, right? So I'm going to throw something at you that you may or may have not thought of, and it's one of my favorite ways to stay inspired and continuing to learn the guitar or any instrument really, and that is making playlists. So in 2024, let's face it, we all have different streaming platforms, right? I have one that I use. I like using Spotify. A lot of people like using Apple Music, etc. If you use any of those, make some playlists. So let me talk about what I mean specifically. I make different playlists for different things, obviously. You know, if I'm cleaning the house, if I'm getting work done, things to kind of cater to our mood, right? So the same thing with music and playing the guitar. I have a guitar playlist, I have a bass guitar playlist, a drum playlist, a singing playlist. All those things I have, and I revert to them whenever I'm needing motivation and inspiration. So one good way that you can start with learning the guitar in 2024 is making a guitar playlist, starting with maybe like 10 of your favorite songs that really makes you just want to pick a guitar up and play. You know, especially songs that you wish that you could play those songs. Whatever those songs are, there's no wrong answers. Whatever those songs are, whatever genre of music it is, it doesn't matter if it's pop, rock, country, reggae, etc. Get a playlist going. Get some songs on there to stay inspired. And, you know, again, since I play different kind of instruments, I write songs. I'm constantly looking for inspiration. That's what I do. So whenever I'm wanting to work on some guitar stuff, if I need to get in the right mindset to do some teaching, if you will, or build some tracks, I'll pull up my guitar playlist. It's got a lot of my favorite artists in there, songs that makes me just want to play, because there's something about, for me, you know, when I hear some of my favorite stuff, maybe like some, I don't know, some Joe Walsh. It just does something to you. It does something to me. It makes me want to pick up a guitar and just start rocking out and playing it. So, which brings me to the next point. We're basically going to talk about 5 points here in this video of how you can learn guitar in 2024. The first one being making playlist. So get busy on that. We're going to expand and talk more about playlist in this video. So the next one is making a schedule, right? So I know that's basic. You know, some of these things they're just tried and true, right? It just takes a little bit of motivation, some drive, some discipline, if you will, to get it done. And to talk about myself a little bit, not only have I been playing music essentially my whole life, so practicing and playing has always just felt natural to me. It just comes easy. I've never had to make myself practice per se, but you know, that's just me. I know that's not everybody. So about 3 years ago when the pandemic started, I decided to get more serious and focused on my health, my physical health, mental health, all those good things. So started applying, you know, going to the gym, watching my diet, meditation, all those different kinds of things. And within now, what, 3 years, I've lost a total of 140 pounds. I used to be a bigger guy. Lost 140 pounds total, working towards that 150 mark. And, you know, it was in Men's Health magazine. You know, it's been amazing, but, you know, it didn't come quick is the thing. And what's funny is it did kind of come quick. You know, I lost 140 pounds roughly in around 18 months. And what's funny is when we develop and establish a routine, we have a schedule, and we're going deeper, we're establishing good habits and good rituals, right? Like the playlist to keep us inspired, things like that. it makes things easier, and it gets us a lot closer to our goals, if you will, which we'll get to in a second. But making a schedule. So, you know, I started looking at it like, instead of going to the gym or abiding by this nutrition plan, all that stuff, etc., you know, for a month or 6 months or a year, what about if I just did something today? So today, that could be your goal, you know, just making a playlist with 10 simple songs that you really love that get you inspired, right? So, but when it comes to making that list, I love the analogy that I've always used: if you aim small, you miss small, right? So I started thinking, what would happen if I just went to the gym today, or if I focused on trying to eat better today, right? So the same thing. Making a schedule, and if we just take today, what can you do today? Maybe getting 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, etc. Listening to a couple songs off that playlist before you begin, and then sitting down, getting some practice time in with the guitar, right? And then, you know, maybe getting a little bit more stricter with it, and having a goal of aiming for 4 to 5 days a week. You know, 3 at the least, I personally say, but essentially, you know, they say that if you want to master something, you got to put 10,000 hours in, right? So if you start doing the math, if you're only practicing 2 or 3 days a week for, let's say, 15 minutes, how long is it going to take you to reach those goals? Obviously, we all have busy lives and busy schedules and things going on, right? But making a schedule, practicing not only a couple of days a week, but, you know, a certain time throughout the day that works for your schedule, and keeping that schedule, that starts to compound, right? And someone a whole lot smarter than me said, Mr. Albert Einstein, he said that the 8th wonder in the world is compound interest. And that just doesn't apply to finances and money, right? That's essentially like a good rule of thumb that you can apply to a lot of things. You know, the more that you just focus on today, or at least I did, going to the gym, on my health and nutrition, etc., that started to compound, and within, you know, 18 months, I lost 140 pounds, which seems crazy in like a quick amount of time, but, you know, thinking about that, you know, right now just getting started was too overwhelming. So it's just getting started, right? So making a schedule, you know, 3 or 4 days a week, 15, 20 minutes, etc., however that plays out, and sticking to that schedule, right? Then those days turn into weeks. Those weeks of practice turn into months, and that starts to compound. And the interest that you get off of that from your practice time, or anything that you do, is obviously reaching your goals and accomplishing what you're setting out to accomplish, right? So getting in to our third point is goal setting. So, you know, what does that look like? Whenever we get very specific into something, or get specific into setting goals for something, I should say, that helps us not waste our time, essentially, whenever we're trying to practice, right? We have to know what we're working towards. So, you know, maybe you've recently got a guitar, and you know how to hold it, you know how to, you know, hold the pick. You're learning some chords, you're wanting to get into learning some songs, right? So setting goals, I want to get better, let's say, at switching between chords, right? Maybe you're not ready to get into songs just yet. So that could be a goal that you set. You listen to a couple of songs on your guitar playlist to get you motivated, to get you fired up. You know that you're going to sit down for an allotted amount of time today. And the thing specifically that you're just going to work on in this practice session is working on how to get faster between switching chords, right? That's one goal. That's one practice. It's as simple as that, right? So getting clear with our goals. Or maybe, you know, it's a favorite song that you've always wanted to learn. So when I sit down tomorrow for, you know, a couple of minutes, however you decide, whatever that session is going to be, the time length of it, my goal for this practice session is I'm going to work on this song that I've really been wanting to work on. Or, you know, maybe it's a little bit more to intermediate to advanced stuff, like I want to get better at playing scales fluidly, or I want to get better at bends. Maybe I want to get faster at hammer-ons or pull-offs to do licks, right? Maybe I want to get better at playing some blues or playing country, guitar phrasing, whatever it is. Pick that goal and start working on it whenever you sit down to practice. That way you get something out of your practice time, right? And that brings us to our third point, or our next point. Is it our fourth one? Who knows? Our next one is how to practice, which is so essential, right? So I've been playing music again, which feels like my whole life. I started when I was 5. I'm 32 now. I think that's 27 years, if I've done my math correctly. And I've been teaching music for over a decade now, virtually and in person. And one thing that I've always had to really work on is helping people establish a good practice method, you know, how to practice in their practice time. Because over the years, I can have students that perform and do really great sitting in front of me, but when they get home, it's like, okay, what do I do now? Or trying to get motivated, you know, to practice, because we all get overwhelmed with things going on in our lives, right? So, and I can always tell, you know, whenever a student comes back the next week if they've been practicing or not. So, and it's nothing to me as much as it is to you trying to achieve what you want to achieve and get out of the guitar, right? You only get out of it as much as you put in it. But how to practice, right? So let's say it's Tuesday, you're going to sit down at 5 p.m. and get some practice in, right? Okay, how long are we going to practice? We got to establish that first. Let's just throw a number out there. Let's say we're going to practice for 30 minutes. Okay, what are we going to practice? Okay, we want to get better at switching chords. And maybe let's set a more long-term goal, something that we can't necessarily achieve right now, but we want to work towards on, something that feels achievable, right? Just not in the short term. So maybe it's one of your favorite songs that you want to learn, right? You know, maybe you've already learned a couple of songs pretty quickly, because there's so much stuff out here on the internet, right? If you just bought a guitar this year and it's January, what is it, 24th as I'm making this video, so you're ahead of the curve a little bit, let's say, and you maybe done learn some simple songs. So maybe pick one that's a little bit more challenging, right? Maybe you're really good at strumming, but you're not the best at alternate picking just yet. You know, you can strum stuff like, but let's say, because this is a song I've taught a lot and a lot of people like to learn, it's a good kind of beginner song. So maybe that song is Simple Man by the band Lynyrd Skynyrd. Right, where it's got that alternate picking in it. That good stuff in it. So maybe that's a goal. Again, you're doing good with strumming, not so much with alternate picking or finger picking, right? So pick one of those songs that's kind of middle in the road as a long-term goal. So you're sitting down, it's Tuesday, it's 5 p.m. We're going to practice for 30 minutes, right? We know what we're going to practice on today. Getting better at switching chords, working on some of those hammer-on pull-off licks, whatever it is. And we also got our long-term goals, right? Maybe you want to learn Eruption by Van Halen. Maybe you want to learn, like I said, you know, alternate picking, the song Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. So that not only gives you something in your practice now to work on, but it's also setting you up for success. And it could be one of those things, if you're doing good, say it's alternate picking, you're doing good switching between chords, maybe right now in the short term on Tuesday at 5 p.m. for 30 minutes, you're just working on 2 chords. Working on alternate picking like that, right? And that's getting you one step closer to that goal of learning that song, Simple Man, for an example, etc., right? So how to practice, very, very important. So pick your time, pick your date, something that you're working on now, and long-term goals that we're working towards in the future, right? And to get to the last point here, our 5th one is a support group, which is very important, right? So even in my health journey, at my biggest, at losing 140 pounds, I was very fortunate that I had a support group, if you will. I got friends that's into health and wellness, people, you know, in our band that I tour with on the road is into health and wellness. So, you know, I may see Ben, who plays guitar in the band, out working out, and I'm thinking about slacking today, but I see him working out. I'm like, dang it, no, I've got to do it, right? So this is having that good support. Or we talk about certain things, you know, or I've got a yoga teacher who helps me with a lot of things. I talk to different people that I can lean on for nutrition. I see people at the gym, we're talking. So a support group is great, right? So you're getting into learning guitar. There's all kinds of great things online, to different groups on Facebook, different communities on different social media platforms. And, you know, I've got some stuff coming in the future myself on my website, stevejewelljr.com. Plan on having my own Facebook group for people that's taking lessons from me, especially my music course stuff that I'm working on and that's coming out in the future. Stay tuned for that. So I'll have my own support group of you guys where you can communicate, maybe hold each other accountable, ask each other questions, all those types of things. And again, you know, there's all kinds of great stuff out there. There's a lot of great, you know, music teachers out now today that's utilizing that space, that's providing that support group like I plan to as well for people. Commenting, you know, in these videos, there's a lot of people that gets in the comment section of the videos, and I'll watch videos myself online on different social media platforms and look at the comment sections and see people commenting back and forth on maybe their take to playing this song or something they learned, you know, trying to use this pentatonic scale, or something that they picked up whenever they were learning that song Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. And, you know, I get to commenting back and forth with them, and other people do that. So having a sense of community, a support group, can be very essential and can be very great. Helps keep you accountable. It helps that drive. And, you know, another good thing too is that I've always said, you know, you can, in my opinion, maybe get so much sitting at home by yourself, playing the guitar, to tracks online, CDs, if that's still a thing, depend on what your preference is, if you still like CDs or not. And when it comes to making playlists, get some CDs together if that's your thing, if you still have those and want to utilize those. So I want to throw that out there too and not exclude anybody. But, you know, again, having a good support group. So there's only so much that, you know, you can do on your own. And fortunately for me, when I was starting out, you know, there was restaurants, all age venues where I live that would maybe host an open mic or open jams, you know, a lot of blues jams and stuff like that I would go out and meet people and get up and jam with people. And it really helped me you know, utilize certain things that I was learning. And playing music live in front of people and with other people has been paramount, if you will, for getting better at guitar, bass guitar, drums, singing, all those things, even my songwriting. Because when you play with other people, it's a lot different than playing along to, you know, a song online or CD or however you listen to music, streaming, etc. So, you know, you're feeding off people live. You may get used to playing perfectly in time with a song on the album, but you go play that song Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd live at an open jam, you know, or maybe you've been working on some Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Sky's Crying, and you play that at an open blues jam, and it's completely different. You're working on different skill sets. You're sharpening certain different execution skills, right? Like being able to follow the band, because everyone may not be playing the same exact precise tempo that the song is live. So you get a lot of ear training in. You're having to listen to other people to make sure that you're playing together as a group and not just you standing out by yourself, so you don't stand out like a sore thumb. all those different things, and so many benefits come from playing with other people. Maybe you're not ready to play at an open jam in front of a live audience or an open mic or anything like that. Maybe finding some people within your area, you know, to get together and play with. A lot of people like getting together in the basement, in their garage, having some buddies over, some friends over, and just sitting around, getting some guitars out, you know, playing some of their favorite songs. You know, you get so much more out of it when you do things like that. You're hanging around people, the social interaction, and again, you know, sharpening those skills, those execution skills, right? So all those things are great. However you want to spearhead that, just get out there, get started. It's 2024. So glad you guys are still wanting to learn music and learn the guitar and all kinds of various instruments. They're all there for us. They're all self-serving, if you will, and again, you only get out of it what you put into it. So I hope this video has been helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all those good things. That way you're notified when I'm putting out more videos. Share with a friend if you'd like. Hit the comment section. Let me know some of your guitar goals that you're working on this year, and maybe we'll talk about them in some future videos. Maybe you got some good points that I want to borrow and apply to some goals that I'm working on. So anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go jam a little bit.